All things to keep in mind here as wildfire season's in full swing, isn't it?
Yeah, Alana, what do you say? We've got the dry conditions, of course, but we also have the potential for flash flooding tomorrow as we see more storms.
Yes, wet weather arrives, and it arrives for a larger portion of the state tomorrow with this influx of monsoon moisture. We're going to start with the closeout of the summer solstice sunset. How pretty is that? Mark, thank you for sharing from Cedar City. Clear skies, that sun going down, beautiful color there. And we got a bunch of great pictures tonight. Meg sharing this one from Salt Lake. Really, really great conditions. I only get to show this once a year. As we talk solstice, it's a day early. We were a leap year. And so here we are, typically June 21st, but June 20th at 2:50 today. Earth's axis is tilted towards the sun. We had more than 15 hours of daylight today. And gosh, we really showed off tonight. Kurt catching this one in Cache Valley. Always appreciate the pictures. Kurt, thank you. High temperatures today made it to 90 in Salt Lake, above average, 101 in St. George. Triple digits returning to the south. And you notice how we see the 90s and some 80s on the eastern side of the state, but those temperatures took a serious tumble when that wet weather arrived. For the Wasatch Front, it was fairly quiet. We stay that way as we close out ABC4 News at 10 with those mid-70s, mostly clear skies. We'll see a lot of 60s for overnight lows, mid-60s expected in outlying areas, low 60s. And then tomorrow, partly cloudy conditions as we continue to warm things up. Let's talk about moisture. We're tracking a few things and want to forewarn you that storms and showers will continue overnight for a portion of the state. That threat becomes more widespread. I'm going to show you the reason why. Friday, we could see some heavy hitters. Flash flood danger climbs, and then that high heat comes back into the mix. Speaking of heat, the triple digits we're showing off. Sunset tonight from the Black Desert Sky Cam. Pretty as ever with those clear skies. Different story across the state. This is southeastern Utah, live view from Monticello, where it has been raining, thunderstorms moving through the area throughout the afternoon and evening hours. And you can just tell by taking this view. But we'll also look at the radar and the satellite, which shows these storms building for the last little while. As we look at that area of low pressure and that Four Corners high, those are our two major players when it comes to the moisture. We put this into motion, and you see in the last few hours, even as we've lost the daytime heating, we have lightning holding steady coming from Lake Powell, heading towards Blanding and pushing over into Colorado. Now, we're watching this area of high pressure because where it's situated is a big player on what we see for our Friday. Forewarn radar shows the latest storms over Mexican Hat towards Bluff. And again, these are pushing north with our southwest flow in place. Now, we talked about that flood watch. It goes into effect at noon tomorrow, and it will hold on through 9 p.m. It's a rather large area, but because we're grabbing these tropical moisture and bringing it into the state, our storms have the potential for really heavy downpours, which is why our flash flood concern rises and our flood watch holds on. Slot canyons are just not a safe place to be. Let me tell you now, not the day to go. Replan, reorganize, because we peak with our risk for our Friday, that probable risk for the swell. Our national parks like Arches and Canyonlands, down towards Lake Powell, Grand Staircase, even the possibility near Bryce and Zion means that you've got to rearrange those plans because we're into monsoon season now. That Four Corners high is a big deal because as we talk about the North American monsoon, we know our land temperature warms up faster than our water temperature, and that leads to rising air. Well, that rising air during monsoon season, which is the reversal of winds, so we get moisture that's actually come in from the Gulf with our southwest flow. That rising air capitalizes on that, and we get scattered storms and showers, and that's what we're going to see tomorrow, the positioning of the high. Let's get into that. Futurecast walks us through what to expect for the remainder of tonight. Our high retrogrades overnight, so it's going to push closer to Utah, and that brings moisture a little further west. Here we are. By tomorrow morning, Grand County getting some storms, but then we really start to see it pop by 1 p.m. With that high pushing closer to Utah, we get moisture all the way over to the I-15 corridor. That holds on for the afternoon, and we watch as eastern Utah stays very active. Those storms track this way from the basin to Castle Country to Four Corners. It's going to be active, and we could see portions of I-15 impacted. Also, Utah County could see a storm as we make it through the evening, so we're going to watch that as well. Lingering moisture into the weekend will dry for the Wasatch Front, but it leaves that slight chance in parts of Utah. So stay weather aware. This is the time of year, especially as we head into this season with this influx of moisture from the southwest. Looking at our high temperature trend, we're above average. High heat builds. We stay above average for the Wasatch Front and southern Utah for the next 5 days. So if you're not getting storms, outside of storms, you're sweating. Me too. Don't worry. We're all getting through it. 80s and 90s for tomorrow. More widespread storm activity. 80s on the eastern side of the state. A few 90s, 102 in St. George. Checking out the next 7, you're going to see that we have the potential to hit 106 by the latter half of the weekend. We're cooking by the middle of next week in St. George at 108. Don't be surprised if those heat alerts return. They're right around the corner. 90s, and then we're going to see the chance to tie a record on Sunday. 101's the record. We could see our second triple-digit day of the season, and then we're like, we loved it. Let's do it again Wednesday. I don't know. At least it's not a Tuesday, right?
So we've got our southern Utah correspondent, Cannon, down there in Ivan. Should we send him a care package?
I feel like tonight he was doing the 7, and he's like, it's still 100. And I was like, oh, Cannon. He's from southern Utah. He knows the drill.
He's a hardy soul.
He is.
Yeah.
Send him hockey tickets so he can go cool off.
On the
Exactly.
ice.
This is why we're bringing hockey to town, to cool off.